we back?
What?
Are we back?
Yeah.
Okay, hi.
What is
How you doing?
What is your favorite part of owning the bookstore?
When that customer comes in. And it's really hard to explain, okay? There's like, okay, imagine if you will, if I was to build a person for you, she's 25, she's cute as a peach. She walks in the store and you can see her eyes. That's the moment I live for. Because this is the place that she wants. I wish I owned it, that's what she'll say. I always wanted to have a bookstore with like a coffee shop, okay? But you can see that this is where, and she'll wander through, and I have the books now that she wants. Oh my God, I saw this one. I saw this on Instabook. This was on TikTok Books. Barnes & Noble's had this for like 40 bucks, and you've got it for 25, Bob. You're my hero. When I opened the bookstore, I truly believed, okay, and I did some research, not enough, but some. And my demographic was 40 to dead. If you're over 40, you read books. If you're under 40, you don't read books, right? That was my process. So when I opened the store, I had a ton of books for 40 to dead. 40 to dead doesn't buy books in a bookstore. And usually they've read all the books that you would have had. So I had Pattersons and Devers and all these people that you guys won't even know how they are on my shelves. And they looked pretty. I cleaned all the books. No bling bling yet. It was a basic bookstore. And Grandma, Grandpa would wander through the door. Oh my God, it's a bookstore. This is so pretty, honey. And they would go through and do what they do, and then they would leave. And I went, well, that didn't work. So then young girl comes in, 25-year-old girl. Oh my God, it's a bookstore. I'm calling all my friends. And she would tell me how great it was, but then she would leave. And I went, well, fudge, we're gonna have a hard time eating because we're not making, anyway. And finally a teacher came in. Am I answering your question fully?
Yeah.
Okay, good, because I want to answer the question fully. A teacher came in, and her and I were chatting, and I said, do young girls read? And she said, yes, Bob, young girls read. She teaches English. I taught history. Anyway, I said, do young girls read? And she goes, yeah, this 3 years ago. And I said, what do they read? And she goes, none of the shit you've got. I went, huh? None of the shit you've got. This is Grandma's book. This is Mom's book. Young girl doesn't read Mom's book. Okay, what the hell does she read? She said, Bob, the #1 book in the country right now is Colleen Hoover, It Ends With Us. And I looked at her very succinctly. I wanted to use that word succinctly because I graduated Kent State. I'm not as smart as you guys, but I tried. Anyway, so I said, who's Colleen Hoover? And she went, Bob, you own a bookstore? Yeah. Colleen has 6 of the top 100 books in the country today. They bought her a copy, the girls at her school, so she would read it, and they could discuss it in class and make all the boys uncomfortable. So then I went researching again and found out that 18 to 40-year-old women buy 80% of all the books in the country. That was the biggest challenge I had. I had to get girls who could do the bling bling. I'm fortunate in that my wife could do the jewelry. We began making soy candles. We created a witchy section, a true crime section. I created the True Crime Podcast. What was my greatest challenge? Those are the things you have to be able to do if you're going to be a successful bookstore in 2022, 23, and 24, and 25. I didn't know that when I opened the store. I really believed all I had to do was throw books on a shelf and you'll come in and buy them. There, I answered your question, I hope.
Yeah.
Oh, good. That was scary. I was young, I was weird. I was the outcast. I was very introverted when I was a kid. And introverts tend to, you want to go to a different world where I'm the tough guy. And everybody loves me. And I look like Tom fucking Cruise. Okay? And you know, when you're a 12-year-old skinny, goofy kid who was raised in Alabama, but now you're living in upstate New York, and you talk like this and everybody makes fun of you, you better have a book.
Why do you think reading is important?
Because it changes your life. I've been reading since I was Because you can, if you're having a real shit day, I mean a real shit day, pick up a book. Pick up a book, and within like 10 minutes, you're off in somebody else's day, okay? And everything kind of vanishes, all that crap in you. I happen to love nonfiction myself. So I'm always studying somebody who did incredibly great things. Which of course inspires me to want to do incredibly great things like own Bob's fucking bookstore. But anyway, yeah, and that's why I tutor kids and I give away books to kids. because I want these guys to, you need to have that vent. In the modern world, this very bustling world that we live in, you really need that vent. And reading is a great way to see a different world. If you're living in a crappy one, see someone else's crappy one, yours will look a lot better.
What are you?
I'm thinking in my head. No.
What?
No. I don't know if I could do it on camera. It's too funny. You'd probably get in trouble. No, they're all adults. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm back.
What would you say success means kind of for you and then the bookstore as well?
Well, certainly it's not monetary success.
Mm-hmm.
I have not put my down payment on my Lamborghini yet, but we are off baloney. So I think that it just being open. Can you stay open and make enough that you can kind of, I don't know, go on vacation every now and again? Yeah, and that would be success. And Salem's a town of like 8 to 11,000 people in the surrounding area. If I was in downtown Akron, that would be different. Of course, my rent would be 8 times what it is here, but still. But just staying open, just seeing people come in. People look for me to be here. People know me. I'm Bob.